Well, viewers, like we were saying, we're standing right outside the Taj West End. This is on Racecourse Road here in Bengaluru, where, of course, the opposition unity meet is going on. Just a while ago, we had the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee who arrived. And, of course, it's peak hour rush here in Bengaluru. And hopefully, with the VIP movement that's happening here, too many Bengalurians won't be affected. But coming to the main crux of the issue, while, of course, the opposition is saying this is a very, very crucial meet ahead of Lok Sabha, the BJP is rubbishing it, saying, well, these are different aspirants who want to become the Prime Minister. They don't really have an ideology that matches. No, none of the parties are in sync in any of these issues. They're fighting at the state level. Is this even a joke? Is the question that's coming up. But as far as the Congress is concerned, as far as some of the leaders who've turned up here are concerned, they continue to maintain, well, this is going to work out. We are going to defeat the BJP. Before we start this bulletin and, of course, go to our guests who are going to be joining us to discuss how this is going to really pan out for the opposition parties, let's listen to some of the reactions that have been coming through the course of the day. Well,
this is only the second meeting. The first one took place a few weeks ago in Patna. Obviously, I hope that something more substantive will be done in this meeting, because the last meeting was, I think, just the beginning. We wanted to see how many parties were attending, what their individual points of view were. But now that this is the second in the series of meetings, we need to have something more substantive. We have to ask ourselves, what has changed that suddenly the BJP has found the need to start talking to NDA allies again? Obviously, they realize that the ground is not in their favor, but that still leaves a lot of work for us to do.
Narendra Modi, who spoiled the economy of the country, not opposition parties. What is NDA? Huh? UPA is there. NDA is also there. In NDA, only BJP is there. Other parties are also there. See, all the opposition parties are coming together.
कि देश की जनता इस बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी को बुरी तरह हरा करके भेजेगी। और सबसे पहले मैं धन्यवाद दूंगा कर्नाटक की जनता को, जिन्होंने फैसला लेकर के भारतीय जनता पार्टी को हराया। और इसी तरह मुझे देश के कोने कोने से जानकारी मिल रही है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सफाया होगा और नकल करने वाले कभी पास नहीं होते हैं। जैसे ही उन्हें पता लगा कि बेंगलोर में बैठक होने जा रही है, उन्होंने अपनी बैठक बुलाई है, तो नकल करने वाले लोग कभी कामयाब नहीं होते।
Invitation is extended to you from the NDA, sir. Would you be looking to attend the meeting tomorrow?
Let us see.
Okay.
If invitation comes, we'll decide.
Okay, sir, all the opposition parties are uniting today, sir, in Karnataka. JDS has been left out of this, sir. Any reason for this?
For that, actually, who are the organizers? For them, you put the question to them.
Mm-hmm. So no invitation was extended, sir, to the JDS for this?
No invitation.
Well, my colleague Imran's also live with us. Imran, you've been, of course, tracking all the developments that's been happening from early this morning. You were at the press conference earlier as well. You asked some pointed questions to Mr. K.C. Venugopal. But at this point in time, there's a lot happening, even when you consider Karnataka itself. Because just a few years ago, in fact, 5 years ago, 2018, we had Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy have that grand oath-taking in front of the Vidhan Sauda. We had nearly 20 opposition leaders who had turned up for that event. But today we don't have H.D. Kumaraswamy here. So how does this really work, this mixed bag of parties coming together? Can it really work out for them?
Well, important, Deepak, that the meeting is happening in southern India, and once their coalition partner JDS is not with them, and also another regional power bloc is KCR. He also has not attended the event along with other smaller parties. Now the issue is that the Congress is saying that we have extended the invite to everyone who wants to be part of a coalition against anti-BJP, and if there is no need to a separate invite to be sent, and that very clearly that they're saying that if they do not want to be part of it, that is their wish. There is no chance left for the third position here right now. They're saying that either we have to unite together against the BJP or come together as part of the opposition. And those who are choosing to stand out are nothing but supporting BJP. That's the stand of the Congress here. They're saying that the strength is only increasing. Last time they saw 16 parties in Patna, and now it has come to 26 parties in Bengaluru. And the next meeting, they're likely to see more coming together to united opposition against the BJP. And all the discussion is about how to stop the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections. They're saying that the democracy is under threat. The constitution for many of the is under threat, and the BJP is using ED and IT to threaten. And in fact, their strength lies in these investigation agencies. That's the reason why they're able to intimidate opposition forces. But the question about the opposition parties is if they're coming together. One of the two top leaders from the southern India, the parties are not there with them. Now, the Kumaraswamy has clarified that he was not invited. He said that he's most likely also be going to NDA if invited. The question is also, Deepak, is about the numbers, because if somehow Congress feels they can afford not to include exclude the JDS, because the numbers are very less as far as JDS is concerned, as far as the tally in the Lok Sabha. But the question is about KCR. They say that they're unwilling to comment on the KCR. They're saying that he seems to be standing in with the BJP, is what Congress is, in abstract words, they spoke about this issue. Now, the opposition is meeting today. Deliberations are happening. This is the second such meeting. BJP is asking very pointed questions at Congress. Who will be the leader? What will be their common minimum program? The opposition is saying, wait for it. This is the second such meeting. More meetings are likely to follow, and more as they progress together, more parties join. They'll come up with a unified program and also announce the leader probably later in the September or November, Deepak.
Right, absolutely. And even as we speak, we are looking at a lot of VIP movement that's happening behind me. KJ George, the minister here from Karnataka, going inside probably to greet some of the leaders. Today, of course, is an unofficial meeting that's going to happen. Dinner is hosted by Karnataka Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, of course. So a lot of developments. Thank you, Imran, for joining us with those details. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you for any of the updates that happened from the Taj West End. But at this point in time, let me open this up for a panel of guests, of course, who are joining us. Madhu N Rao, spokesperson from the BJP, joins us. We also have Sujata Paul from the Congress party, Neerja Chaudhary, senior journalist, and also we have a spokesperson from the JDS, Prashanti SG, as well with us right now. Firstly, I'd like to ask, Sujata Paul, because the Congress, of course, today has been making some sharp reactions, rather giving some sharp reactions. They've been saying that democracy is under threat. Now, you have been saying it, but I'd like to ask you, it took you so many days to really decide upon the issue of the Delhi ordinance, because Mr. Kejriwal kept saying the Congress has to back it. Now, if it took so many days of deliberation, now you finally, of course, it was almost a veiled threat of sort that came in from the Aam Aadmi Party that they will not be a part of any of these opposition meetings if the united opposition is not going to come and fight in their favor. So how are you really going to work out these sort of differences, because that will only increase in the coming days in the run-up to Lok Sabha 2024?
Increase. I don't understand. It should decrease, because as far as the Delhi ordinance issue is concerned, we had said initially that we will decide and let you know before the next parliament session, and that's exactly what we've done. So I don't think that is really such a huge matter. It was decided, and we don't believe in one man deciding everything for us like the BJP does, and that is why we say that the constitution, the country's democracy are all under threat today, and we will not allow that, and that's why we took some time. But coming to what has happened from the 23rd of June to 18th of July, 17th of July and 18th of July, it is that earlier we had about 16 parties. Now we have about 26 parties coming on board, and we are coming up as a united opposition. The country is looking at us, people are looking at us, because it's the issues of the people which really matter. Here is a government which talks about nationalism, about Hindu-Muslim, and people don't want it anymore because their issues are important, and that's why anybody and everybody who is against the BJP dividing the country and not addressing the issues. Look at Manipur burning. They're not addressing those issues. The Prime Minister is out on a vacation. And therefore, it is time for all of us to come together and fight this battle unitedly. And we will be doing it. Now, why has the NDA organized its meet on the 18th of July? Because they are rattled. And look at what they are doing. Akali Dal, JDU and Shiv Sena were their main allies. Where are they today? So when you talk about what the BJP is doing, they're talking about numbers. And that's what they believe in. So the numbers which are coming in with the BJP are the numbers which they had neglected earlier. And these are the smaller parties. So if you actually look at the plan, the earlier plan with the Akali Dal, let's say in Punjab, or JDU in the Bihar region, and Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, these were the bigger allies. Now they're bringing in people just to suit the number game. But the number game is not going to work. No, if you're talking about JDS coming to them, they are facing an existential crisis. How will they help? But Congress party and the rest of the opposition have come together for the sake of the people, and that's what people want. Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh has already proved it, and now it is time for the rest of the country to ensure that they have democracy, which is for them. Another last point, I would definitely like to see what which washing machine are they going to use, because there was one Lotus washing machine which they used to clean up the corrupt people, and the corrupt people who they accuse themselves, like in the case of NCP, Mr. Ajit Pawar. He was being accused, and a few days later he was in the BJP, so he's now washed clean. But you also have Mr. Conrad Sangma. They accused him of corruption and dynastic politics, but they formed government with them in Meghalaya. So how are they going to clean up this dynastic aspect is something that we are waiting and watching, and let's see how far they go, because this time the country is going to come together to defeat them.
Okay, Mr. Rao, I'd like to ask you, because we have just heard Sujata there clearly say that as far as this opposition united front is concerned, it is going to work out for them. They are dismissing what happened with the JDS earlier. We'll of course come to the JDS a little later because that's an important issue that has happened, a development of course that could really change, especially how elections are fought in Karnataka, because up until now we've more often than not seen a triangular contest. But Mr. Rao, what do you make of the statements that have come in from Sujata here?
That this so-called united opposition meet what they can do or what they are doing. It's completely it will be a washout for the simple reason. Now look at this: they are calling themselves a Mahagathbandhan. This is Mahaprashtabandhan. I guess. Look at who is forming, rather to say who's with them. Those persons who have been alleged and who are very corrupt, they are with them. And look at who's there with them. Lalu Prasad Yadav, and Mamta Banerjee, and DMK's Mr. Stalin. Who are we talking about? And these people are coming together only for one reason, that is to be against Mr. Modi. And they have absolutely no agenda other than saying that. Point one. Point two, I want to tell you. These are all parties who are right from the beginning of their career or ideologically against the Congress party. And look at now what has happened. They have only formed this alliance to keep themselves in the vicinity and the visibility of Indian politics. Nothing more than that. Third point I want to tell. Look at who's come together. I mean, RJD was fighting with JDU. CPM does not like TMC. TMC does not like, that is the Trinamool Congress does not like the CPM. And the Congress is fighting in against CPM in Kerala, but on a national front, they want to come together. PDP, who is at loggerheads with National Conference, is coming together. I mean, this is only a politics of opportunity, nothing less than that. Their only intention is to ensure...
Because we asked them these questions, Mr. Rao, but most of the leaders who are coming here say, well, we have our issues at the assembly level. We have our issues at the state level. We won't let that affect, our relationship or this, forge that we are coming together for at the national level. They're saying that's something that will never even be in the picture. So can they actually say that we fight an election in Telangana where we are going to go against a particular party and then say at the national level a few months later, all's going to be okay? Can they really do that?
Deepak, isn't it very oxymoronic? I mean, at one hand you say, yes, we are at loggerheads there, and here you say we want to come together. Now, this is one of the precise reasons what has happened in Maharashtra. Can you take an example? Now, see what has happened in NCP. Now, let us take an example as to what has happened in Shiv Sena. I mean, these are all parties who are against the Congress right from the 1970s and the 1980s. Their very existence is against the Congress party. And now we all of a sudden we have all these persons coming and telling that we will be with the Congress. It's really, you feel like laughing. Point one, and I am more astonished by the fact that they all want to come together for what? Do you have an agenda? Well, agenda is to be still made. Do you have any pointed program? They don't have a pointed program. They think the democracy is a danger. I mean,
Can I
for
come
a
in?
fact, I just want to tell the enforcement directorate or any other
Well,
agency
I'll allow
is
Sujata to
going-
counter that. Before that, let's also get Prashanti here from the JDS, because the interesting situation here is you're looking at 26 different parties. The last time we saw a coalition, especially very close, where I have monitored the same, is in Karnataka. It was just two parties coming together. You had a coordination committee set up for that. We had the Chief Minister then, Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy, weep time and again that there are issues. Now, firstly, Prashanti, I'd like to ask you, there is, of course, a very confused stand at this point in time, because you say you've not been invited to this meet and it doesn't even matter. On the other, you say you still don't know about what is going to happen as far as the NDA is concerned, along with the JDS. So, where does the JDS really position itself at this point in time?
No, as of now, we don't have any kind of information regarding NDA. They haven't invited us at all, as of now, so far. So, but what I'm seeing is, there is a confluence of 26 parties in Bangalore to strategize against BJP. This is the worst kind of politics that I've ever witnessed. See, this opposition does not want to fight the ruling party based on issues, but solely on defeating one party. See, they are simply condescending into ideology politics rather than fighting this election on manifestos. See, I've heard that, the discussions will be focused on common minimum program, joint declaration, and seat sharing.
Well, Prashanti, we'll get to the opposition. I'll take your opinion on the opposition meet, but I want some clarity on the JDS's stand here, because you've been dropping bombs after bombs as far as what could be the hint from the JDS, because be it the vice president election that happened, because you boycotted that. You also had the new parliament building where most of the opposition parties decided to boycott, but we had the JDS participate in that. Mr. Deve Gowda was there. So are these hints being dropped before an alliance is forged with the BJP? Because we very recently had an indirect indirect statement that came in from Mr. B.S. Yedurappa as well, where speculations were made. So you please tell us.
No, sir, we are not going to be in a conference where this 26 parties, they are going to meet. We're definitely not going to join that as of now, and we haven't received any kind of invitation as well. So let's see. You never know. I mean, this is politics. If our leaders should discuss with us, with everybody, and then we have to decide whether to join or not. But as of now, no one has called, and we are just we are not considering any kind of joining in any party.
Okay, let me bring in Neerja Chaudhary as well. She's a veteran journalist, of course, who's been patiently waiting. Ms. Chaudhary, if you could now tell us, you've of course seen politics from several decades, and you've seen these sort of coalitions that have happened in the past. But we are now talking about one of the biggest coalitions that probably the country will see. 26 parties, and they say more to join. Is this something that's really feasible?
I think the effort that's being made in Bangalore, the effort this time at opposition unity is far more serious than in 2014 or 2019. And one indication of it is the notice that the BJP leadership has taken on of these efforts. And the result is that they're trying to reconstitute, expand the NDA. In recent years, they allowed their oldest allies to go because they didn't need them. The Akali Dal went, Shiv Sena broke, JDU went. I mean, these were their oldest allies, which had stuck by them. But now they are getting together. Today, Mr. Nadda said 38 parties. And these include very small parties, which are caste groups. So they consider them valuable. In areas, they are very, very valuable and represent certain communities. So to get them together, that only shows that and the BJP is taking the opposition unity effort seriously. They don't want to take any risk. And if they come back to power on their own for a third stint, very good. If they fall short of a majority, there'll be the NDA allies to fall on. Now, I would say this time, 2024, it will be a coalition versus coalition fight. Even though there is a difference. The NDA has a strong and popular leader leading it in Narendra Modi, whose popularity has not gone down. And there is a big party as a pivot at the heart of it, which makes a coalition a little more stable than equal parties. What the opposition faces is a huge challenge because the Congress is the largest party, is only 50, whereas the BJP is 300 plus. Now, with Mamta Banerjee, also a large party, others, DMK, another large party. Now, the challenge for the opposition will come at the stage of seat sharing. The opposition unity in Bangalore is going to be more optics. We are together, holding hands. They may decide on a name. They may move towards deciding on a common minimum program. All very
butting in, we are just getting some live pictures from inside this meeting here at the Taj West End. We just saw many of the leaders, of course, get in, but right now these pictures coming in from inside, where you can see most of these leaders, of course, who've managed to arrive today. Some of them expected tomorrow as well. This informal meeting that has just begun, it will of course be followed by dinner that is being hosted by the Karnataka Chief Minister. So these are visuals that is just coming in. Important development that's taking place tomorrow. Of course, 11 a.m. is when the actual meeting begins, is what some of the leaders have maintained. It will go on till about 4, followed by that grand press conference like we saw in Bihar a few days ago. This is of course the second meet that is coming to the fore, and these live images now on our screens. Now, coming back to what we were discussing about, I'll come to Sujata now. Sujata, they're making some direct attacks that there is no reason, there's no purpose for this unity apart from probably just putting BJP out of power. Ideologies don't match, issues don't match. You are at loggerheads with most of the parties. So where is the real purpose? Because you cannot really say democracy is at threat and get away with it by all of these issues that will still lie dormant in the background. Is the charge coming in not just from the BJP, now from the JDS as well?
One point that I would like to add to what Neerja ji said was that that BJP is in power and it is misusing its power. So that is also one challenge that we face. But this is the first debate today where I heard Mr. Modi's name. Otherwise, from the BJP spokespersons, the other spokespersons are not even taking his name. They're only talking about the BJP being under attack. Now, this is the change which has happened because Mr. Modi, he called himself a 56-inch chester, but that 56-inch chest was inflated with the issues which he said he would solve. But now those issues haven't got solved, and that is why it's got punctured and deflated. That is point number one. Secondly, when we talk about the BJP, if they are keeping their meeting tomorrow, and they are trying to get smaller parties on board because they've lost out on their major allies, it shows clearly that the BJP knows that this is going to be a washout, and they are trying to take attention away from this our meet. But they are rattled, and that is what is clear from here. BJP is a brushed Jalsas party because those people who they have accused of dynas, and I include the JDS in that, I would want to know whether they're going to form an alliance with those who are being run by families, because they have a big problem with that. Now, coming to all the other parties that you were talking about, whether it was Mr. Lalu Yadav's parties, Mr. Stalin's, Mamta Banerjee, etc. Remember one thing, that democracy is what this country's DNA has. And democracy was established by the Congress party, and that is why there are so many parties which exist in the country today. And the BJP, like its chief has already said in Bihar, that they are out to finish off the smaller parties. No, we won't allow that. And at this crucial juncture, this is the reason why people do understand, parties are understanding, and we are all coming together.
Okay, let's ask Mr. Rao. Is that a convincing answer, Mr. Rao? And more importantly, the Congress is also saying that one of the big developments that has happened with this particular opposition unity is that finally now you're looking at or considering NDA again, because earlier, with the kind of impact that Mr. Modi had and how the BJP was performing across the country, you thought that your allies probably don't matter, but now you're again looking at meetings of the NDA and all of that. So, are you really convinced with what Ms. Sujata there said?
In December 2018, 21 parties came together to fight against Mr. Modi and BJP. What happened? They got punctured. And Jan 2019, again in Kolkata, many political parties came together. What happened? They got punctured. The simple reason is you cannot compare a NDA alliance with a UPA alliance. Look at Congress party. They got 44 seats in 2014 and I think around 52 seats in 2019. Where are they even matching with 300 of what we got? Where are they? How could there be the negotiation skills for them, for other parties to come along with the Congress party? And look at who's talking. Mr. Kejriwal, in one night he says, I want to go with the Congress. And let the morning come, he says, who is Congress party? Again in the night he says, I will go with the Congress party. I mean, really speaking, if you have such an alliance, God bless them. But the point of fact is only so much that all the
another question, Mr. Rao. I'm just going to butt in because we are short of time, so I want a couple of aspects covered here. I'll also ask the Congress spokesperson to come in here because today we had Mr. Ishwar Khandre who came out and said, well, the Mahagathbandhan will work, and then he says Mr. Rahul Gandhi will become Prime Minister. So, because you're right now at a stage where you're still deciding what is your plan of action. I'll come back to Mr. Rao. Okay, you can have your comment on that particular statement, and I'll have the Congress spokesperson respond to it.
Deepak, I think Mr. Khandre has not listened to what Mr. Rahul Gandhi has told. Rahul Gandhi has record told that he doesn't want to become the PM. So where is the issue? It is all rest aside. He does not have belief in the democracy of India. Why does he want to become a PM candidate, so to say, of the Congress party? Why is it required? Point one. Point two. This is only a Mahabrastabandhan. There is no Ghatabandhan. This is Takabandhan. This is Brastabandhan. All Brashtacharis coming together is only bandhaning. That's all. Nothing else. This is only for optics. This is only an optics. And
let's get in the Congress spokesperson here. Why is the issue of, many of the leaders today told me that, talk about who's going to be the Prime Minister is not on the agenda. But is the Congress, because Congress, whenever I ask them about, whether they are going to be the leader of this entire pack that is coming together, they say, yes, we are the, party which, has won the maximum seats in the past, has its presence spread across the country. And probably, do you still hope that somebody from the Congress should be leading this Mahagathbandhan and also eventually have a person announced as a PM face from the Congress?
Rahul Gandhi ji is a leader who stays within the, amongst people. But why is the BJP spokesperson so rattled? They come from the Bhrasht Jalsas party, like I told them. And ideologically speaking, if you look at them, they were forming governments with PDP, and there were so many other parties that they formed governments with the ones who they've accused of corruption, of dynastic politics, etc., etc. But when you talk about Rahul Gandhi ji, people have seen him, and the image that that was created of him was not the real image or real person that Rahul Gandhi is. And Rahul Gandhi ji is seen by the people now. He is understood by the people. And if people want him to be the Prime Minister, I don't think anybody should have a problem. Another important point, Mr. BJP spokesperson, Mr. Rao, just mentioned that may God bless them. Yes, you're so right. God is the Janata of this country, and Janata will bless the person they want as the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister candidate is not going to be declared because you are a Vyaktivadi party and you will believe only in one man. That is why you have no leader. That is why If you had simply removed the two people on top, you wouldn't be in this state. And democracy is all about losing and winning. So if today you are 301, don't forget that you started with 2 and you gradually moved ahead. And we have been working, the opposition is working, and because our votes were getting divided because of the number of parties, and we are going to work on that and look at and remember that this is what the janata of this country wants, and that is why it will be the BJP which will be shown the door by people, by the gods of democracy. And that is why you should not be arrogant, you should be humble and understand that people are sick and tired.
I'll have to wrap. I'll take a
done
quick question from Ms. Chaudhary as well. Ms. Chaudhary, I want to ask you at this point, Congress keeps saying what happened in Karnataka because it seems like they have got a big boost from the Karnataka elections. But interestingly here, though it was again a triangular contest, the JDS's votes completely transferred to the Congress. So if they were really confident of what happened here in Karnataka, why not again go solo? Are they at this point have they reached a state where they believe that taking on the BJP by themselves is almost or nearly impossible, at least at the national level?
I think so, because you see, it's, the party is down and out in many states of India. UP, you look at it. So, and if you go back to the very basic question, 2019, 37% vote with the BJP, 63% with the opposition, non-BJP. So the idea is to get as much of that opposition vote together in one-on-one constituencies, in as many Lok Sabha constituencies as possible, then the opposition may get a chance. So that is the formula they are very simply working on. And that is where the challenge is going to be. It's, the opposition unity is not going to be worked out in Bangalore. As I said, that's optics that gives a certain kind of an image of the opposition coming together. It's going to be fought in the states. It'll be Mamata Banerjee in the Congress deciding what happens in West Bengal, or Stalin in Tamil Nadu. Stalin cannot decide what happens between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi or Punjab. So those are things that will have, the nitty-gritty will have to be worked out, and that's where the challenge is going to come. And we also know that Naveen Patnaik's BJD, Jagan Reddy's YCR Congress, KCR's BRS, and Mayawati's BSP are not going to take sides in these two with these two coalitions, but will go with whoever comes to power in 2024. So that is it's going to be a coalition versus coalition, but the NDA coalition led by a powerful leader, and this coalition will depend on the ground sentiment, and everything will hinge on the extent to which this ground sentiment has shifted as from 2019. There is pain, there's economic pain and hardship people are feeling, but is that going to be enough to see the opposition through? Because it also needs organization, it needs a lot of other things to win elections.
Ms. Chaudhary, that's the question, Ms. Chaudhary, that I was asking the Congress spokesperson, that, what happened, because the Congress keeps saying we are the most potent force in the country as far as the opposition is concerned. We are spread across. We are the only party which can actually lead the opposition. But do they have a leader strong enough to put all of these leaders in check? Because you're going to have difference in opinion, you're going to have different issues that will surface. That's the question that really comes up. Of course, this sort of a meeting that's being held here in Bengaluru is probably where they'll brainstorm about all of this. Capabilities of the Congress also will come under question in the next few months. We do not have too much time, of course, for the Lok Sabha elections, but let's see, of course, tomorrow after the round 2 of these meetings, when they do address a press conference, we'll be there to ask them these sort of questions. Let's see what the answers would be. For now, I thank all our guests for joining us on this special broadcast. On the other side, news and updates continue. Continue to watch Virana. Don't go anywhere.